floor. Congress has rejected a veto by President Obama for the first time since he became president. The House voted 348 to 77 to override his veto of legislation and allow the families of 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia for its alleged backing of the attackers. The lawsuit legislation now becomes law despite the administration's warning it could put U.S. interests at risk. Congressman Peter King, however, says the 9/11 families deserve this bill.
This bill is not going to put American soldiers at risk. It's not going to put American diplomats at risk. What it is going to do is going to finally allow the 9/11 families to have their day in court, to seek the justice they've long been denied.
The Senate had voted 97-1 to override his veto. The U.S. is sending more troops to Iraq to help with Mosul. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with the details.
Another 600-plus troops are headed to Iraq to help with an Iraqi-led battle to reclaim Mosul. That city has been the Islamic State group's main stronghold for more than 2 years. President Obama approved the deployment of the U.S. troops, who are not expected to participate directly in combat. The military offensive presents a decisive moment for Iraq and for the Obama administration's much-criticized strategy to defeat ISIS. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Federal regulators have approved a first-of-a-kind artificial pancreas. The device is for use by patients with type 1 diabetes. That affects 29 million Americans. Type 1 diabetes patients now have to manage their insulin through multiple injections throughout the day or through a drug pump. South Carolina authorities say a teenager killed his father at their home and then went to a nearby elementary school in Townville where two students and a teacher were wounded. All three with non-life-threatening injuries. The teen was quickly captured within minutes, they say, by a volunteer firefighter. For more details, townhall.com.
Do you have enough drinking water at home or work? For whatever life throws at you. This is Florida, and you can never have enough good, wholesome drinking water on hand for meetings, family gatherings, even Mother Nature's wrath. Be prepared with Carolina Highland Mountain Spring Water delivered directly to your home or business. Call 407-851-7144 or online at carolinabottled.water.com. There are no delivery fees, no contracts, and now take advantage of their Be Prepared delivery special in individual bottles, dispensers, and coolers. The purest water delivered to your doorstep. Guaranteed. Get started now. Call 407-851-7144, 407-851-7144, or online at carolinabottled.water.com. Refreshing taste, unrivaled purity, the healthier choice for home or office. Carolina's Highland Mountain Spring Water. Call 407-851-7144, online at carolinabottled.water.com. Refresh today.
Tonight, Sprinkles is opening at the Disneyland Resort. Has anyone in Southern California ever eaten dessert? The math game is back. Let's hope it adds up, unlike Guardians of the Galaxy being in Future World. And Walt Disney World is celebrating its 45th anniversary this weekend, and it's still another 45 until Pandora opens. You've read WDW News Today. Now you'll listen to WDW News Tonight. Yay, fake applause! Yay! Ooh, us!
Always ruining the magic.
That's me. That could not be any more true. Welcome to WDW News Tonight. I'm Tom Corliss, and you're not. Joining me in the studio, as always, Nicholas Cicero.
Good evening, everyone. Super happy to be here.
Also in the studio, Jason Diffendahl.
Oh, yeah, I am in the studio.
Then who's helping us control the show?
Michael Batista.
Michael Batista in the control room with the giant Stitch plush.
Don't worry, it's all part of the plan. We are professionals.
Sure, keep convincing yourself. Well, welcome to WDW News Tonight. This is a huge show. We're still looking at Michael. Still looking at you. There we go.
There's the star.
This is a huge show tonight. We're celebrating 45 years. I've got my I Was There shirt, even though it doesn't happen till Saturday. Don't ask.
I love bragging about that.
I do, because
it.
You have to wait in a line on Saturday, and that amuses me. This is a huge show tonight. So even though it's supposed to be a podcast segment, we're launching the 45 greatest things ever at Walt Disney World tonight. We're going to count down moments 45 through 41. That's going to be up in hour 2. Also tonight, the math game is back, and Jason and Michael are at the helm this time, so we've been assured that everything will go according to plan. The answers have been double and triple checked. Everything will be fine. And we have graphics, so you can see the question. You can actually visibly see it. You don't have to try and remember what Nick says because you know Nick jumbles through every sentence.
That happened last time. You just weren't here. We had graphics last time.
Oh no, last time Nick did it
And we
again after.
did the numbers last time.
Did he?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, no, it was a mess.
Oh.
It was a mess.
So I promise you a foolproof math game tonight as well. Also coming up, Connor Przicki is going to be joining us. He attended, might be the only person who's attended Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. He attended the very first one of those, and then attended the very first Mickey's Halloween Party out at the Disneyland Resort. So we're going to be talking about both of those in a segment we're calling Versus.
By the way, people still a little concerned if Nick's coming up with the math questions tonight. No. So
No, Nick did not come up with the math question.
No, these questions have been done by
we'll be doing
professionals.
that later on this hour.
Yeah, so it's a stacked show tonight, so let's not waste any more time. And now the news! Brought to you by TeePublic and tonight's WDWNT only sale. So before we get into the news, I want to let you know we have a WDWNT store only sale. So the rest of TeePublic is not on sale. We asked them, hey, TeePublic, we're doing great sales with you. Would you mind if for our listeners for this anniversary weekend, if we ran a sale like tonight through Friday, just for our readers and listeners? And they said, absolutely, we would love to do that. So $14 shirts and more happening right now on the site. We'll give you all the details at the end of the
And more.
Well, yeah, they do phone cases.
Oh, okay.
All kinds of
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should know. I read that commercial every week.
you do.
Semi.
Horribly. Anyway.
I attempt.
Anywho. Mug of the week, Skipper Canteen, the new one.
Mug of the week, Disney Park Starbucks.
Yours is the start. Are you going to get that new one, Nick?
Ooh, what's the new one?
I tweeted it yesterday. Got like 200 retweets. It was insane.
Yeah. What was it? What did it look like?
It's a mug that has like Mickey in a heart and then the Starbucks logo on the other side. It's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
I'll have to go look at
It's a little girly.
I've got a mug of the week that Tom doesn't have.
Jay, can we show Jason's mug of the week?
This is
at that.
exclusive to Castaway Key. You can only buy it on Castaway Key Disney Cruise Line.
There you go. All right. Well, the news, which is what we were supposed to get on.
News.
Yeah, let's do the news. An SUV drove into a sign on World Drive on Saturday, in case you haven't seen my pictures on every website on Earth. We're so famous. Knocking the sign over and forcing one side of World Drive to close. The car reportedly had an Unleash the Villains bumper sticker. I wonder how many people in the crowd are going to get that. Michael, by the way, thank you for showing us the entire photo editing app on your computer. Yay for being professional.
That would be PowerPoint.
The cars drove under the down sign in one lane for a while before emergency personnel arrived to close the road. Said one driver, hey, it's still safer than Mission Space. So, why not? The driver who struck the pole ended up being ticketed for the incident, but hey, it was still cheaper than the meal they would have had if they had made it to a theme park. Maybe even save them from a cheeseburger flatbread. Who knows? Much of the 45th anniversary merchandise line for the Magic Kingdom was already released last week. The line includes dozens of new items. Michael, can we show them? Can we show them the new line? Get that up for them. The line includes dozens of new items, including apparel, ornaments, mugs, and a box of chocolate. A box of chocolate. The Disney fan who doesn't want to reach age 45. There's even nobody. All right, fine.
No.
Be that way. There's even a Rice Krispie treat with the 45th logo on it. That may seem dumb, but it is outselling the Lou Mangello one. So I mean, has his face on it on a Rice Krispie treat. I'll just stop. Why don't I just stop?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want that mug.
What, you don't want that Starbucks mug? Yeah, I didn't think you
No.
would, but everybody was freaking out about it. I don't know why. Michael, can we come back to me? You got down to the coin, actually. I want to show people.
This is a nice coin.
No, come to me. Put me on camera. Come on. There we go. Here's the 45th coin in the frame thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and get that on camera.
It's
That
not
camera
bad.
doesn't do it justice. It's
No,
nice.
it doesn't. You can see it, though. It's kind of cool. Individually numbered. It's on a wood base. Kind of cool. Then also there's the silver coin. That's all I bought so far because these were actually limited. I didn't buy any of the open edition stuff yet. There is
So
the...
you normally do coins?
Yeah, my father's a big coin collector, so the minute I told him these were out, I had to pick these up. So limited edition coin. There's pictures on the site. You should check out that ultimate guide on the site, actually. We have a video of me walking through the merchandise display, and there's also pictures of everything if you're adverse to video. So pretty cool. Go check it out. The timeline of Epcot history returned behind Fountain View and the Epcot character spot over the weekend. Timeline was updated with more recent events that ruined the lives of millions. Added are moments such as the opening of Frozen Ever After and Soarin' Around the World, but also the latest Japan Pavilion exhibit somehow ended up on here, this tiny little exhibit. Yet the new American Adventure restrooms were left out. Come on. More people have seen the American Adventure restrooms than that Japan exhibit. Why not the American Adventure restroom? Come on. Or the soda. What about the soda flavor change? That should have been on there, right? That's an important moment. Should be like Universe of Energy open, test track, soda change. Guests can now eat Dole Whip in the Enchanted Tiki Room in Florida, just as they can in California. The new policy went into effect last week at the Magic Kingdom. I don't know about the. I don't know about this, guys. In Florida, we still don't have the fountain in the middle to wash your hands and face, so I'm not sure this is a problem.
Is that what that was for?
California's got it. Yes, you just walk up in the middle of the show and just freshen up,
in case you spill a Dole Whip.
Well, no, it's messy. Dole Whip, you get all sticky after Dole Whip. Yeah. At least now, when the seats are sticky in the Tiki Room, it might be from something you can more easily identify. So. What? Children are sticky.
Was the Tiki Room on OBT now?
Remember Nick yelling about children being sticky and holding up the lines to enter the park? Remember that?
I got pretty mad about that.
Yeah. Send your hate mail to nick@wdwnt.com.
I listened back to that, and I was pretty harsh on the kids, but I stand by that.
Yes. Someone in the chat asked, Wigs members on Patreon. Yes, we are doing a special half-hour post show for you tonight. So if you haven't signed up yet, go to patreon.com/WDWNT and sign up.
I like how we used to do those for free. Not anymore.
Wow, Nick, thanks for sabotaging me live on the air. Wow. Really appreciate that. No, we're going to see how that goes. It might become a weekly offering for Wigs members. We stopped doing it anyway because Nick gets sleepy. He's a big man child.
But so, he took a nap today, right? So
he took a nap. Yeah, he watched his Sesame Street.
Sometimes they
and Eureka's Castle, and then went to sleep. Yep. Anyway.
A little bit 4 a.m. last Thursday.
Anyway, the Muppets will be arriving at the Magic Kingdom on October 2nd. Still no word on when the summer crowds are going to show up, but anyway. The Muppets present great moments in American history. Is hosted by James J.J. Jefferson, town crier of Liberty Square, and Sam Eagle, the fiercely patriotic American Eagle, who is forever trying to set a high moral standard for the Muppets. The wacky new show is set to take place several times daily just outside the Hall of Fame.
Several?
Yeah, several. Throughout the day, JJ and the Muppets will share their own unique take on the Founding Fathers as they recount the tale of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, complete with an original song and plenty of humor. At other times, you may catch the Muppets version of the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, or maybe even Monday night's debate, where the Muppets will just incoherently yell at each other. So you never know what show you're going to see. But it'll be presented daily, of course, until people complain it isn't the Muppets they remember, and then it's canceled early. No, nobody.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
A visit to the downtown Disney district of the Disneyland Resort is going to be getting even sweeter beginning in November when Sprinkles opens its newest location, serving up overrated baked cupcakes and cookies and amazing Captain Crunch flavored ice cream. Touted as the world's first cupcake bakery by the Food Network, Sprinkles has been blamed for inspiring the craze of gourmet cupcakes.
For $17.
Which I now have to review in videos for people. The shop in downtown Disney District will offer handcrafted cupcakes in flavors like banana, carrot, salty caramel, strawberry, and a Sprinkles bestseller, Red Velvet. Signature cookies, including Snickerdoodle, salted oatmeal cornflake, and peanut butter pretzel chip, will also be available. Sprinkles considers customers' special dietary needs all of a sudden, offering vegan, gluten-free, and sugar-free cupcakes, of course, now because we're in LA. The location will be opening in November next door to the Starbucks in a space once occupied by Quicksilver, which somehow wasn't douchey enough to stay alive in California. Sprinkles, of course, already operates a dwindling location at the town center of Disney Springs in Orlando, Florida. That line is gone, man.
Is it really?
It is history. There's no one ever there anymore.
They all went to Blaze now. That line
They all went
is
to
enormous.
Blaze, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can get.
They're
either
on to the next hipster millennial trend
yeah,
already, Jason.
Well, you can get a whole pizza or you can get a cupcake for like the same price.
A bland, normal cupcake with nothing special about it. Nick, I know you like sprinkles. It's just the Captain Crunch ice cream, right?
Well, it's the idea. I'm not a big cupcake person, but it's the idea of having ice cream with cupcake.
But it's only the Captain Crunch ice cream, right? I mean, that's the one.
That was excellent.
Yeah. That's the reason to go. Otherwise, like I've had individual cupcakes and it's just like,
Their ice cream is good, but having the ice cream and even the different flavor ice cream, I'm sure is fine. But having that
cake and ice cream,
then you have the frosting on top of the ice cream. It's a perfect topping. It's really good together.
When I was a kid, I want to tell a really weird story. I was watching Pee-wee's Playhouse. There's an episode where they decide like they're going to make cake ice cream. And I remember as a kid looking at my parents and looking back at the screen and being like, this is a thing? You could have cake and ice cream mixed together? And so that's what always reminds me when I go to Sprinkles.
It all went downhill from there. Didn't you do Carvel ice cream cakes?
Oh, Carvel. Yeah, that was later, though. I mean, that's when I was real young.
Yeah, but those are ice cream cakes. There's no cake in there.
No, I guess
not.
No,
they're just, it's made of ice cream. It looks like a cake.
Yes.
Publix does good cakes where they mix ice cream and cake.
Anything baked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Did you ever get the Willy the Whale?
Yeah, and no, it's Fudgy the Whale.
Fudgy the Whale, Willy.
You
Willy
the Whale. Willy the Whale. That's a Disney character. Fudgy the Whale. There's also Cookie Puss.
Right?
Which I think was also a 007 movie. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, it's going downhill fast.
Nick, somebody in the chat recognized your T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
They started arriving today, I guess.
Yeah, the preview center. There we go.
You also have the Figment. Can you show people the Figment one real quick? You didn't bring excess tech for some reason.
I did.
Just to spite you, Tom.
Yeah, right?
Got the Figment one right there.
There it is. Now reenact the whole pre-show as you move the shirt in front of the screen. Never mind. Never mind. Let's continue with the news.
Sorry.
According to Bloomberg, the website, not the awful mayor of New York, the Walt Disney Company is working with a financial advisor to evaluate a possible bid for Twitter Incorporated, according to people familiar with the matter, Bloomberg News reports. So this is how Disney plans on stopping people from tweeting about the Avatar delays. Avatar joke of the week! Look at Nick go tonight.
I was told I didn't dance enough last week.
You did not. It was lame.
Yeah.
Went for it.
Lamer than FDR's leg.
He's got a lot of energy because he took a nap today.
Yeah.
See what that afternoon is?
No, I energy. Just wanted to dance. One more dance. I know.
Nick, who brought us the news?
Oh, that would be T-Public. Don't forget to head over to WDWNT.com tonight. Click on that T-Public link to shop from hundreds of designs for T-shirts, phone cases, prints, and more, including exclusive WDW News Today logo apparel and other creations such as Tom Corliss mean tweets. That's a fan favorite. We actually saw that at the parks the other day.
Yeah, Jason's wearing it right now.
Oh,
Can we show Jason?
Look at that.
In the shirt. There it is.
My mean tweet shirt. These shirts, let me tell you, these shirts are really comfortable.
They
I
are.
love the material. They're so soft.
Thank you
highly
for going along with our sales, other than Nick, who undermined our post show.
Wow.
No, anyway, back to the ad.
My 7 shirt, I think, is on the
7?
way. Yeah, I got the 7 shirt.
There it is.
And I love that one. I'm thinking about the Make the
movie ride
great
great again.
Yeah, that was a fun one as well.
Perfect for elections.
I know it is. So you get all these shirts and more. You get them in all different styles and colors and all kinds of stuff over there at T-Public.
And they're only on sale for the next 2 days, 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Limited time sale. They're down from $20 to $14. It's a pretty good sale right now, just for you. This is not a website-wide sale at T-Public. They did this just for us because you guys have been so supportive and buying the shirts, and they've been doing so well. They were like, this is certainly something we could do. Our thanks to T-Public on this. This is a great offer to celebrate Anniversary Week.
Yeah, and it helps us out too.
Yeah, we
at
get
the
a
show.
couple dollars of every sale, and you help Keep
And-
WDW News Tonight going.
Yeah, as long as you click on that T Public link, then you could do shopping in our shop and throughout the T Public website, and it all helps us out there. But definitely check it out today, especially because of that sale. Check it out tonight over at WDWNT.com. Clicking on T Public, an official partner of WDW News Tonight.
When we come back, Nick, it's the math game. Call in 407-774-8255 is the number to play. WDWNT, the foolproof 45th anniversary edition math game.
I saw them testing the answers, their hypotheses and their remainders and their variables.
This is your chance to seize the future with excess on the math game. 407-774-8255. We'll be right back. WDW News Tonight.
We're seizing the future.
Dating as a single Disney fan can be tough. No one wants you to be our guest alone. And who wants to always ride single rider? That's why we here at WWNT made a brand new dating app just for Disney fans. It's called Fast Plus. We've had top scientists work on our algorithm. Their recipe for a perfect match is simple. If it moves and it's near you in a Disney theme park, it will show up on your feed. Rest assured that Fast Plus is working hard to pair you with your mutual attractions. Get it? Attractions. All you need to do is swipe left and right. It's so easy, even Tom Corliss is a frequent user.
Frozen shirt. Left. She's wearing a Harry Potter robe. Ooh, Horizon's hat. All right, that's a right. Favorite attraction is flying carpets. Left. She likes Everest in its current state. Ugh, left. I didn't know you could do that with a churro. Right indeed.
Once you've met your match, you simply rate the attraction in terms of A, B, C, D, or marriage material, E-ticket. Based on such factors as thrill, fun for the whole family, and of course, re-rideability. Ladies, don't settle for any LaFools while looking for your Gaston. Download Fast Plus today.
Seriously? Your profile picture has a shirt with a turkey leg stain on it? Left. Bald, 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 fat, bald, fat, and bald. Oh, he's at the Frozen sing-along right now. For the first time in forever, I'm swiping right.
Fast Plus moves you to the front of the queue of the Disney dating field. Make your rainbow connection today, because everyone is someone's e-ticket.
Come celebrate again. All the wonder and joy, the laughter and delight that is so much a part of our tradition here in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Come with us.
When you wish upon a star.
Come and remember the magic.
Remember the magic. Remember the magic. It's time to remember the magic. Your heart just take wing. You can live out all your dreams, no matter how out of bed. You can reach that world again. It's like a dream come true that lives inside of you. It's time to remember the magic. It's time to remember the magic.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. We're remembering the magic all night long. It's our 45th anniversary special as the Magic Kingdom will celebrate 45 years this coming Saturday. Very exciting. Thank you for tuning in live once again. WDW News Tonight, of course, live on AM 1520 WBZW at listen.wdwnt.com on YouTube and, of course, on WDWNT, the app this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. And by popular demand, a game returning to the show tonight. It's WDWNT, the math game.
Not the map game.
And not the match game.
The math game.
You have been warned, it says it. Oh, boy.
No, I love it.
I feel like we're playing Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Like, what is this graph?
So if you're watching our live stream on YouTube or listen.wdwnt.com, we do have a whole chalkboard thing going here where you'll be able to see the equations. But if you are playing from home, you might want to grab a pen and some paper so you could jot stuff down and try to get these answers. We do have one. Before we go to our first caller, we do have one line left open. And so if you want to jump in on that last game, you can call us now, 407-774-8255. And we got lots of cool things today. We
From
got
Theme Park Connection, which you can
yes.
visit online at themeparkconnection.com, of course.
So we got this little MGM Studios catering company patch,
Which is now bulldozed. That building is gone. That's a cool piece.
we got what is this? The Jiminy Cricket Environmentality
Coin from 1995.
We got Tom's old Vinylmation that he doesn't want anymore.
Yeah,
but
there's the Captain Rex.
he bought a bunch of eaches, I think. And
Yeah, and I got a bunch of Disneyland 60th ones there. There's the It's a Small World. There's Jose from the Tiki Room. There's Oogie Boogie.
yeah, we got some good. I'll give you a choice. We got some coins from California Adventure if you want to go
Grand
that route.
opening, yeah.
And let's see.
You still got more souvenir cups, too, right?
Millionaire Play It lanyard. Yep.
Yeah.
We got some Chewy souvenir mugs as well. And you know what? I found a couple other things I have. Let me show. I found a couple other things. So we have one of these left lying around. So if you're
the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book.
So you can play for that. Yep. And I found another one of these. We had these a while back.
Oh, the lithograph from the opening of Voyage of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. So you can request that, as long as you're playing, you request any of that stuff. We got the Chewy Cup, and then we got a bunch of these as well.
Yeah, the Star Wars Land Coming Soon postcards.
Yeah. So there you go. If you play, you win tonight. You get some choices here because the math game is a difficult process to put you through. So we want to give you.
But as Quint would say, it ain't going to be easy.
Nice choices. So we're going to bring up our first contestant. You math geeks ready? Jason, do we need Connor? Is Connor coming on to help you? Or
No,
just you?
Connor will be on
Okay.
in a
All right, cool.
Nope, we're ready.
Here we go. We're going to bring on our first contestant. Good evening, Michael. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Nick?
We're doing great. Where are you calling us from?
Tonight I calling from Arkansas.
Arkansas. All right.
All right.
So you know what? We're gonna have some fun with the math game tonight. You're the first contestant tonight, and you're excited to play the math game. Is this the game you've been waiting for?
No, this is the first experience I've had with the math game.
Okay.
Wow. Well,
All right.
I hope it's a good one.
It'd be a first.
All right. So I'm going to hand you over to Jason. He's got all the equations, everything in front of you. Now, remember, you're going to want some pen, some paper probably with you to help you figure this stuff out.
Or calculator.
And you could use calculator. By the way, yes, you could use calculators. We're not.
You may also need to look up some things
Right.
to find the numbers you need.
Yeah, this is actually a game that looking up stuff online is not considered cheating.
No, you're going to need it.
But we have a reasonable time limit that we're keeping on you. We can't take forever either. So there you go. So I'm going to hand it over to Jason and go ahead with the first question.
All right. So we've got 4 questions here, and you're going to get your choice. You can choose the Tom question, the Nick question, the Jason question, or the Bill Nye question.
Let's go with the Nick question.
All right. The Nick question. Michael, go ahead and bring up the Nick question for us.
Here we go.
I'm scared. This one's going to be pronounced wrong or something. Oh, look at that.
No. All right. So this is N times I in parentheses, and I hope you know what parentheses means, divided by C.
Is I in parentheses or is N and I in parentheses?
N times I is in parentheses.
I see it.
All right, good. You're on the video. That helps a lot.
So it's
So
Can I say this is the most ridiculous thing
yeah.
I've ever seen? But anyway, please proceed.
all right. So after I finish reading, although you get a little head start because you can see after I
Which
finish
it should
reading,
be hour 2, but
we're gonna start the timer. So N is the number of current lands in Animal Kingdom. I is the minimum height requirement for the dinosaur attraction in centimeters. And C is the number of announced attractions in Pandora, the World of Avatar.
Hey, none of the things in this equation are open. I guess Animal Kingdom still is, I suppose.
Sort of. So there you go. N times I in parentheses, all divided by C. And how long do we give them? 90 seconds?
2 minutes. 2 minutes on this
All right,
one. This
your 2
one's
minutes is
complicated.
starting now.
You got 2 minutes to figure it out.
Right. So it's an interesting one here. Announced
Current
attractions.
lands in Animal Kingdom. Does
Yeah.
Planet Watch count as a land in Animal Kingdom?
Does Pandora count? I don't know.
It's not
That's a good
current.
well,
Pandora is
current.
not
No,
current.
I mean Pandora wouldn't be current then. But I guess Planet Watch would be its own land.
Well, the answers are all whole numbers.
Okay.
So if you come out with an answer and it's not a whole number, then one of your numbers is wrong.
Wow.
Okay.
That's good to know.
So that's kind of a self-check on your calculations there. A little bit of a hint to make things easier, or at least let you know if you did something wrong.
So for people not watching the video show, I'm going to repeat the question. It is N times I divided by C. N and I are in N times I is in parentheses and then divided by C. N is the current lands in in Animal Kingdom, the current number of lands in Animal Kingdom. I is the minimum height requirement in centimeters for the dinosaur attraction in Dino Land. And C is the number of announced attractions in Pandora, the World of Avatar, which may or may not ever open.
We'll give you another minute over there, Michael.
Okay.
And if you got it, just let us know.
Those are ride-through attractions for Pandora, the World of Avatar.
Yes, the Pandora shop does not count.
Yeah, Pandora jewelry.
Okay. I think I am ready.
All right, he thinks he's got it.
All right.
All right, what do you got? What's your answer?
I am going to go with 120.
Oh, that is not correct. I am sorry.
Oh. All right. Was he close?
Well, we're gonna hold that question for later, maybe a different contestant.
Maybe somebody else could call in.
Yeah, if someone knows the answer to that one, they're invited. Put it back up on the screen for a second.
Hold on the line, Michael. I'm gonna grab your info. I'll send you a little something anyway for
Just for
playing the
trying.
math game. The
Just for
math game.
trying.
Math game is one of those where you get something small for trying. So because it's
Okay.
we put you through that. So hold on the line for me, Michael. I'll get your info in just a moment.
Listening.
But we do appreciate you listening in, Michael. Now, does our next caller? What do you want to do? Does our next caller? Can they get?
They get a
crack at
new
this one?
question.
They get a new
But
question.
if someone wants
yes.
to call in and answer the Nick question, and they think they have the right answer, they certainly can. Well, let's move on to our next contestant then.
All right. Our next contestant is Joe. Good evening, Joe.
Hello.
Hey, Joe. Where are you calling in from?
Ohio.
Ohio. All right. And you fancy yourself a proficient mathematician?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, he does. All right. All right. Let's see. Do you know what a variable is?
Yes.
Good. All right. He passes. He's gonna play the math game with us tonight. So you get to choose either the Tom question, the Jason question, or the Bill Nye question.
Who is the one that went to MIT? Because I don't want that one.
Jason would be the one who went to MIT.
Okay, so I won't choose Jason. I'll go with Tom.
You would think the Tom question would be easier. All right, Mike. Let's bring up the Tom question.
I'll wait until Jason finishes
Tom was
reading
the
it.
second smartest mathematician in all of New York State.
I don't know about that. I did get the second highest score on the Math A Regents out of all high school students my year. Fun fact. Even though I went into a profession that requires absolutely no math.
So the Tom question is on the screen now. Joe, are you on the video? You can see it?
It's not up yet. I'll pull it up.
I got it.
I'm on the video, but
there
yeah,
it is. There it is.
Now it's there. All right. So this is a T plus O in parentheses divided by M. So T is the year Walt Disney World opened. O is the age of WDWNT in years. And if I was wearing my anniversary shirt, That would make it maybe much easier for you. If you need a hint on that, just go to our T Public store. Click on the T Public link at
You turned a math
WDW.com
question into a plug.
and look for our anniversary shirt, and you will see how old WDWNT is. And M is the Space Mountain minimum height requirement in inches.
Space Mountain at the Magic Kingdom.
Of course, it's at the Magic Kingdom.
Well, there's multiple Space Mountains. I'm just making sure. So it's T plus O in parentheses, then divided by M, which T is the year Walt Disney World opened. O is the age of WDWNT.com in years. And M is the Space Mountain minimum height requirement in inches. I'll give you a hint on O. WDWNT was founded on July 8th, 2007. Yeah,
So you said your 9-year anniversary.
we did. So you've got one number. See if you can get the other two and figure this out.
Is the answer 45?
Is the answer 45?
That is correct.
We have a winner on the math game.
Wow. Nice job.
work.
Woo!
That was quick.
That was an easy one, I think.
That's probably the easiest one. That's why it was the Tom question.
Yeah, no, still,
Wow.
it
Ouch.
worked, which is a first for the math games. We're very happy.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, Joe. Hold on the line. I'm going to give you your choice of prizes from Theme Park Connection. Appreciate you calling in.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys. Now we're going to bring on Jonathan next, and he wants to take a crack at the Animal Kingdom one. Let's
He wants
see.
to go back to the
Yeah.
Nick question. So, Mike, can you bring up the Nick question?
Yep.
For everybody.
While he's doing that, good evening, Jonathan. Where are you calling us from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right. Very good. And you think you figured out this Animal Kingdom question?
Yeah, I think it's 306.
That is correct.
306
What?
is right.
Nice.
So, what is the number of current lands? It's
6.
6 current lands. Dinosaurs' height requirement in centimeters.
102.
What's up?
102.
102. And 2 announced attractions in Pandora, the world of Avatar.
All right. Well, very good. Congratulations, Jonathan. Appreciate you figuring that one out. I'm gonna get you on hold, and we'll get you a prize from Theme Park Connection.
Seize the future.
Seize the future with excess.
Dude.
Bon voyage.
All right. So 2 of the math questions down. We have 2 left. We do have someone on hold, but we do have one question open. If you want to get that one, 407-77.
So we have 2.
So,
there will be
maybe.
one open.
407-774-8255 is the number to call. And right now we're going to bring on John. Hello?
Somebody?
John? No? You're not there?
We lost them.
All right. Well,
No, we have nobody.
all right. Well, if John calls back or somebody else, 407-774-8255, we'll get them on to play the math game.
Should we bring Connor in now since we're open?
Yeah, want to bring Connor in now? That's
All
fine.
right. Connor Przicki is going to be joining us for a segment we call Versus.
up,
How's it
guys?
going, Connor?
Doing all right.
Our Disneyland reporter. Back in action as of late. It's good to have you back on the scene out there.
Of course. And nice to go back to the parks. It's been busy, school stuff, life, whatever. Moving on.
Sucks. Anyway, so you, when you were here a couple weeks ago, we went to the very first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party of 2016. But this week you also went to the very first Mickey's Halloween Party, which is the event at Disneyland Park. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I should start that the party's been at Disneyland for a few years now.
Used to be a California Adventure. Was what Mickey's Halloween Treat?
I don't even remember.
Something
it was
like
horrible
that.
though.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Pardon my French.
Yeah, excuse me. Anyway, so the party, it was all right. Of course, headlining this year was the Frightfully Fun Parade. That was the big draw this year, the brand new parade.
Which is new because they've run something of a parade in years past. They called a cavalcade.
Yeah, it was Mickey's Halloween Cavalcade. It was just, like a bunch of characters, nothing really special. I think there was a float or two. I saw it years ago. I haven't seen it recently. And it wasn't anything special. This parade, well, I guess comparing it to Boo-to-You is, I think it's mostly said that it's the best Disney Parks parade ever. A lot of people say that, including me.
It's
I
one
think
of,
it's the best.
outside of the nighttime parades, I think everyone would absolutely agree on that.
Yeah. It's absolutely a perfect parade. Just how the music and everything, it's just perfect. So Fight for the Fun Parade, it had a high bar to reach, and I don't think it quite made it quite, but it's a good start.
It's definitely much better than the cavalcade, I think.
Yeah. But before the parade, we have the Headless Horseman, of course. That was another big draw this year, having the Headless Horseman come out to the West Coast. It's pretty much exactly the same as Florida, except he's walking dead slow. And of course, this was the very first night he was shown to the public. I was there the first party night, so it may have improved. But at least in Florida, like when he goes down the street, he does a little prance. He's not
it's
running
not the full
exactly.
speed. Jason will remember along with me.
Oh yeah,
it used to be a full speed
that
gallop
was amazing
down the street, which was the most unbelievable thing.
That was like the highlight of the night.
Yeah, it was. Not that the parade and fireworks weren't great too, but that was really
just something amazing.
Amazing. So we kind of figured going into this he wasn't going to be full speed in California either. He hasn't been full speed in Florida for a long time, but yeah, you're right. He had like four.
He had four
handlers.
escorts. Yeah, on each side of him, he had four escorts following him around. Again, that may be due to the first public showing, so they didn't really know what to expect as far as
I'm sure he's had a lot of practice walks down the route already.
Oh, sure, but you throw in the people factor, and
you
think
don't
about
want the horse running into the crowd.
Yeah, and just think about how much narrower our streets are in Disneyland. Our parade route is tiny compared to Magic Kingdom.
That's true. That's a really good point.
It's about a third smaller, so you'd have a lot less reaction time if a kid runs out into the street wants to go pet the horse.
Yeah.
So that may be another factor. But again, regardless, it's still cool. They do the little speech at the beginning about the short story, and it's still pretty cool having him come. It's the same exact costume from Florida. He's holding his head. The horse is giant. It's pretty awesome. The parade was all right. So they built some brand new floats. I think all the floats were new actually.
Well, except for the castle float, which is recycled from Parade.
Yeah, that hurt my soul seeing that. It hurt
that's
so much.
We both have castle floats. We just reuse constant.
Yeah, except ours is now cut in half and painted black. It hurts. Okay, so the parade was good. It started out with oh my gosh, I can't even remember now. What did it start out with?
Well, there's a whole video people could watch at WDWNT.com.
Go watch that.
Mike, can you bring up the video while we're talking about it?
I can give the quick highlights of what really struck me as
the Nightmare Before Christmas floats were really neat. Like the mayor in the car, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, the mayor and the tiny hearse.
And the face spins. Like they clearly spent money on a couple of floats. My initial thought is when Buddha U premiered, it was pretty much like the cavalcade out there. There wasn't a whole lot of floats. It was real short. And then slowly over years, they just kept adding to it until it got to the point where it is now. That's kind of what I think they're going to do here is every year they'll budget a new float or two to really make this something special. Because Mike, maybe hit the full screen button there. People can see it a little better. I don't know if that'll work. But like you said, it's a real good start.
Yeah, but that's definitely like Boo to You. Like it's been going since 2005. Like the current version, I think. So they've had a lot of time to work out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
For example, the Haunted Mansion float. We of course pretty have something similar with we have the three hitchhiking ghosts in the front doing their little dance.
It's very similar.
Very similar, but I think I think one of the weakest parts of this parade is the music. We have a rendition of It's Halloween from the Paris version, the Paris parade.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work.
I don't know why they wouldn't use Boo to You, but I guess probably Florida's so protective of that parade.
Yeah, I just want Boo to You.
Or this one.
You did that thing where you broke the music again.
What do you mean I broke the music?
It's playing slow.
Is it? It is.
Yeah. That's a woman singing, by the way. Oh, Nick.
Okay.
Just as the fact that Booty was composed for a parade of for that parade, for the choreography was made for those floats and so on and so forth. This stuff just seemed really shoehorned in. The choreography for the Gravediggers was nowhere near as cool as it is in Florida because they kind of have to match it to the music. So that's where it kind of like eh. And speaking on the Gravediggers, that's probably one of my favorite parts of Boo to You. And to see that like an army of Gravediggers in the Butler outfits come out. And we get far less than, and that may be due to the smaller parade route again. There's only about 8 or so of them. along with the caretaker and his dog. Not the dog,
That
but the
being
caretaker.
said, though, Christmas Fantasy, you guys do the full battalion of toy soldiers, so it's certainly
No, we
not-
don't. No, we don't.
No,
we don't get nearly as much as Once Upon a Christmas or whatever. It's
No?
called. No. We only get about 12, or maybe
Oh.
sometimes less. Yeah, about like a few trumpets and the drummer, and that's it.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. But again, I think it's because our parade route's so tiny. It's so cute. Let's see. Yeah, so that was cool. There was the dancers, like the ballroom dancers. My favorite float from the whole parade was actually the Facilier float, the willow tree with him sitting on the throne with all the little idols around him. It was really cool.
Yeah.
The music.
It's a cute little parade. It's an improvement, at least.
Yeah. The correct castle float was pretty cool. Frollo was on it, and that was weird. Yeah, it was good. Watch the video. I think, like I said, it's a good first step.
Yeah. And then Halloween Screams got some upgrades this year.
Halloween Scream got some upgrades this year.
Mike, can we pull up the video of that?
All the Disneyland Forever infrastructure, all the projectors, and all the cool lighting stuck around. Some of it did, not all of it, but some of it stuck around. So we got some projections for the show. We got some new cool lighting effects. And I still stand by that. That's now the greatest show, the best fireworks show that Disneyland puts on right now, since we've lost Remember. It's a really great show. I would compare it to Hollow Wishes, but they're good for different reasons. Hollow Wishes is good because it's grand, and that goes for all kind of lot of pyro. Disneyland Halloween Screams is good because it has a lot of weird, cool special effects with lighting, with the jack orbs, kind of cool. We lose a lot lower low level fireworks. We use those more often. So overall, both shows are really good.
So I went to the Disneyland Halloween party like 2 years ago, first time. We had a really good time. Obviously, I thought the Florida one was better just because it's had a lot more time to grow. There's a lot more to it. That being said, there were some very positive things about the Disneyland show. I thought the fireworks show was really enjoyable. I liked a lot of the character meet and greet opportunities. The tree trails were a lot of real great quality candy and were very well put together. What do you think? Which one do you like better?
Not So Scary is way better.
Yeah.
It's
had the time to grow. I mean, it's kind of.
Yeah. The fact that the stage show is so awesome. The Hocus Pocus thing was awesome.
Pocus
Yeah.
too, yeah.
It's just way more organized. Everything's much more concise. Disneyland's it's just still kind of jumbled. Like all the tree trails are so close together. Like you go out of a tree trail and the next one's like 5 feet apart. And that goes again, we don't have the space, but not So Scary just has a lot more going for it. Yeah.
All right, Connor. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Well, we're going to have you back in second hour. You're going to be joining us for the 45 greatest things ever at Walt Disney World. You're going to argue
Cool.
with us?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you next hour.
Bye.
Nick, what's going on? Do we have any more contestants for the math game?
Yep, we have Joe called back. So we're going to bring Joe on the line right now to play. I think this is our fourth and final math game question. But
no, there's still two more.
Third.
There's still two. Oh, the third one. Okay, yeah, that's right. So one person doubled up on the one that was.
What does he have to choose from between Jason and Bill Nye?
Yes.
Well, real quick, 407-774-8255. We do have that one space left. Lots of prizes left still on the board from Theme Park Connection. Everybody's picking the Disneyland California Adventure coin, actually, tonight right here. If you haven't seen it the first time, the grand opening coin. It's very nice. And so really everybody's picking that. So we're going to bring on Joe right now. Good evening, Joe. Where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is John from Colorado.
John from Colorado. How are you doing, John?
Good job.
Joe already won a prize.
So, hey, thank you for calling in to play the math game with us tonight. And we're gonna hook you up with a question here now. So we got Bill Nye or Jason, right?
That's correct.
Which question would you like, Bill Nye or Jason?
I think I'll go with Jason.
All right.
Jason question.
All right,
Okay.
Jason, take it over.
So we've got. Are you on the video?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So you can see the Jason question right now. It's J minus parentheses S plus O times N.
This looks complicated.
This is complicated, and you need to know order of operation.
Oh goodness.
J is the duration of the rock and roller coaster ride in seconds. S is the number of years Phantasmic has been shown as of October 2016. O is the number of sections in the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater. And N is the number of restaurants in the Phantasmic dinner package. Number of restaurants you can choose from.
Asterisks.
There's a what? What is there, Nick?
Asterisk?
There's an asterisk.
There's an
You're an asterisk.
So your 2 minutes will start now.
I'm going to give them 3 for this one. I'm giving them 3
minutes? All right.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That's happening. So thank you.
All right. So go ahead. Your time has started.
All right. So first of all, Nick's questions may not add up correctly, but at least they don't make them this complicated here.
So,
So
again, it's for those not watching the video show. I want to spell it out for you.
Yeah.
It's J minus parentheses begin S plus O multiplied by N close parentheses. J is the duration of the rock and roller coaster attraction at Hollywood Studios in seconds. S is the years Phantasmic has been shown at the park. O is the number of sections in the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater. And N is the possible restaurants in the Phantasmic dining package.
So order of operations. That's where I always go wrong.
Yeah?
I think so.
Really? It's just, I will help out a little.
Is that foil?
It's always parentheses first.
Parentheses first, which
Yeah.
actually in this case, Michael, I don't know if you typed it this way on purpose or not, but the parentheses aren't necessarily, they're not in the wrong place, but they're not in a helpful place either.
What is foil, Jason?
Foil?
Yeah, isn't
Foil
foil
is used to expand a binomial equation.
Can I just stop everyone for a second? We have yelled about theme of attractions and whether things belong in certain places and best attraction characters. This is by far the nerdiest moment in the last 9 years of this website. Just want to put that out there. But go ahead, Michael. What are we saying?
Well, so I could actually ask my 12-year-old daughter, Caitlin, about order of operations. Caitlin, why don't you come and tell us what you know about order of operations in math?
I thought it was foil.
Stop trying to exploit your children.
See, I thought it was foil first,
No, it's
outside,
not
inside,
foil.
last.
It's what's the acronym that you know? She says PEM. Did you hear that? PEMDAS.
PEMDAS. That's what we did.
Right?
I don't remember that one.
So PEMDAS.
I was absent that day.
It's because you went to school in New England.
PEMDAS is parentheses first, then exponents, and then multiplication, and then division, and then addition, and then subtraction. So in this instance, all you really need to know is that you need to multiply before you add or subtract.
This show is more edutaining than Epcot has been in 20 years.
Yes, it is.
I'm pretty sure John's put this on mute, so he doesn't have any distractions while figuring this out. John, are you close to getting this?
I think so.
Do you need about 30 more seconds?
Sure.
All right, I'll
thanks.
give you about 30 more seconds.
Okay. Quick reminder, everybody, coming up next hour, we've got the 45 greatest moments. 45 greatest moments. I'm thinking about every segment we've ever
45
done.
greatest
See, because
things.
we've done that so many times. This is even bigger than that. This is the 45 greatest things ever at Walt Disney World. We had people vote on a list that was about 1,000 options.
It was ridiculous.
And it had to be whittled down to 45. It's foods, restaurants, smells, attractions, characters. Everything was in there. We're going to see what the 45 absolute greatest things ever were coming up next hour. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, I'm ready, Nick.
All right, sounds good. What do you have for your answer?
44.
Jason?
Wow, that's really close. I think we should give it to him.
How close is it?
The correct answer is 45.
We're going to give that.
Yeah, we'll give that to you.
Yeah, no, we're going to give it to him.
So
Can
let's see
you
where he
go
went.
over his numbers so we can see exactly where he might have gone wrong?
Show your work.
Okay. The duration is 82.
That's correct.
Yep.
The number of years, it's 18.
That's correct.
Yep.
the sections in Hollywood Hills Amphitheater, 10.
That's correct.
And then the possible restaurants and the dinner package is 2.
It's actually 3.
It's actually 3.
It's
3,
Mama Melrose, Hollywood and Vine, and the Hollywood Brown Derby.
What's the third one?
The Hollywood Brown Derby
The Brown Derby, the Melrose,
and Hollywood and Vine.
Hollywood and Vine, huh?
I don't
Yeah,
know
the
if
buffet.
Mama Melrose counts. No one would choose that one on purpose.
It's still an
It's fine.
available choice.
It's fine. It was so close. There's no reason not to get.
No,
Well, according to the website, it only has those. It only has the Brown Derby and Mama.
You
Mel-
might have been looking at what's available. Maybe not. Maybe Hollywood and Vine was booked.
was booked.
Probably.
Could be. Yep. But that's all right. Close enough. 44 is close enough.
You're
so
right.
we are
It's
gonna
on there
count
when
that.
you pull down the availability, right?
But you did a fantastic job. You're off by 1. That was a really difficult question. You definitely pulled.
Yeah, that was a good question, Jason.
Yeah, well, that was the MIT one.
In 3. He did it in 3 minutes.
Congratulations.
That's impressive. So you're going to be getting a prize from Theme Park Connection. Nick will let you choose something.
Great.
And if his
Thanks.
bag of goodies there. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. John. I get names wrong. We have
John.
Jonathan, Joe.
Whatever.
Sorry about that, guys. I get it right.
Do we have anyone for the 4th question?
No. It looks like that's it. If we get any more calls by the end of the night, we have time. We'll
We've
put
got
you on.
3. I mean, we got
We
3
do.
winners tonight.
We do.
That's really good for the math game.
People did good tonight.
Yeah.
So if you want to try to jump in on that, it's 407-774-8255.
Nick, we are not taking a visit to the wonderful world of psychotic comments this week.
Unfortunately not, Tom. I was, getting the things ready that we're going to be doing in the second hour of this show, and I apologize. That means we're going to have lots of comments for our next live show,
which isn't next week.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Hey, Nick's going to New York Comic-Con next week, and I'm going to have fun there, and maybe there'll be some stuff there that we can report back to on WDWNT, of course.
Absolutely.
There might be some announcements. There might be some cool things.
We got a bunch of people going as media.
Yeah, good contingent of most of the people from Nerd Alert.
Yeah.
And
Just
Jedi
they're
Girlfriends. Actually, both podcasts are going. Nerd
They're
Alert.
gonna,
and
you guys
Jedi
gonna
Girlfriends.
fight in like the alleys and
We should.
Jacob Javits. Is it a Jacob Javits? I don't
Yeah.
even know. Okay.
Yeah, we should have some kind of face off while we're there. I can't wait till this November for the charity show. We're doing Family Feud again, right?
Oh yeah,
We
for
have
sure.
to.
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
That's
yeah.
coming up, man. It's almost October.
How many hours we doing this? year?
45-hour show to benefit Toys for Tots.
4
coming
to
up.
5.
We're
4 to 5 hours. We'll see how it goes. 4 to 5 hours.
45 hours. While Nick's taking a phone call, I want to plug again. For our WIGS members, the WDWNT Interglobe Society, which you can join at patreon.com/WDWNT. You help support the return on a regular basis of the podcast, this show, and everything we do here at WDWNT, and you get some cool stuff in return. One of the cool things you get in return is going to be a post show tonight to WDW News Tonight, a half-hour post show exclusive to $13 and higher members of the WDWNT Interglobe Society. Again, join at patreon.com/WDWNT. Reminder on that. Nick, do we have someone else for the math game? I don't know. He's taking a phone call. I have no idea.
He's on the phone.
Regardless, again, coming up shortly, hour 2 is going to begin, and we've got we're doing it one time only on here. It is a podcast and YouTube segment. Typically, it's not meant for this show, but we decided we wanted to give it a big start this week. The 45 greatest things ever in the history of Walt Disney World. Going to be kicking off in hour 2. So make sure you join us, but I guess Nick isn't. So we're going to take a break. We're going to be back with hour 2 of what should be a great 45-year celebration of Walt Disney World here on WDW News Tonight.
Celebrating 50 years as Apopka's hometown station. 1520 WBZW. Apopka, Orlando. Community events, financial news, weather, traffic, and more.
A service of Salem Media Group.
More news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Val Dior. President Obama says the U.S. has the world's strongest military because it's got the best people. Obama addressing service members at Fort Lee, an Army installation in Virginia that's celebrating its 100th birthday next year.
You've done your duty again and again. You've helped deal deadly blows to those who would threaten us. You help prevent attacks and threats to our homeland. You're helping us to destroy ISIL.
He traveled to Fort Lee to participate in a town hall style event with service members that's televised on CNN tonight. Meanwhile, President Obama and top Pentagon officials say it could put U.S. interest at risk, but the Senate disagreed today, voting 97-1 to override Obama's veto of a law that would let families of 9/11 victims sue the government of Saudi Arabia. The House also voting to override 348-77. South Carolina authorities say a teenager shot and injured 2 students and a teacher. That's after he killed his father at their home.
He died from a gunshot wound, and we believe at this time that it is connected to the incident at Townville. There is a relationship between the victim and the shooter. This appears to be the victim's son.
Anderson County Coroner Greg Shore, the shooter, was taken down by a volunteer firefighter before he could enter the school. That shooter now in custody. For the first time in 8 years, OPEC nations have reached a preliminary agreement to curb oil production to boost prices. Energy stocks had their biggest one-day gain since January today after the price of crude jumped 5%. And federal regulators approving a first-of-a-kind artificial pancreas. The device is for use by patients with type 1 diabetes, which affects 29 million Americans. Type 1 diabetes patients now have to manage their insulin through daily injections or through a drug pump that delivers it through a tube. For more details, townhall.com. I'm Val Dior.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360.
When man stops believing in God, he'll believe in anything. Torchbearer follows the Duck Commander Phil Robertson as he argues the absurdity of life without God.
Human civilization's best chance of survival is to anchor itself in the God of creation. God created man and woman in his image. We are image bearers of God.
Torchbearer. This film is not yet rated. In select theaters October 7th. More information is available at torchbearermovie.com.
Welcome to hour number 2 of WDW News Tonight. This is our 45th anniversary of Walt Disney World Special Edition. The first hour, we had the successful return of the math game. What?
So great with Jason in person, too.
Yeah.
The mastermind behind it.
Jason in studio this week. We did the news. We talked about our Big T Public sale. Go to WDWNT.com. Click that T Public link. Shirts on sale for $14, including Make the Movie Ride Great Again.
Yeah.
That's real great. What else? We did a lot of other stuff. O'Connor talked about Disneyland's Halloween party. And so next week, we're not here. Thanks, Nick.
Hey. You'll need some time to rest from Celebration and
I know.
the 45th.
Got to get some podcasts done. It'll be good.
And the Muppets on Sunday.
Yeah, I get a lot. This job is rough, and the boss is a real jerk. This new job, anyway.
Well, this hour's gonna be fun because we're gonna do we got the 45 greatest things ever. At Walt
this
Disney
is
World.
big. So we're starting. It's supposed to be a podcast segment and also a YouTube series, but we're starting it. We're at least going to start the first one here on WDW News Tonight, which is a big deal. We figured this week's the anniversary. Why not do something cool on the show this week, and why not do one live? It might be kind of fun. So that's coming up next when we come back. But in the show in 2 weeks, it's going to be your birthday.
Yeah, it is.
When we come back on, it's on here somewhere. on October 12th. It's going to be your birthday, so you're going to have a Nicholas Cicero birthday show.
Yeah, it's actually the second time because we moved from Saturdays to Wednesdays.
I'm just going to keep moving the show every year, so you never get to have a birthday night.
No, it's great. I can't think of a better place to have my birthday celebration than right here with my friend Tom and whoever else wants to come by.
I'm going to plan some surprises for you.
Aw.
Yeah, no, we're going to have a Nicholas Cicero birthday celebration.
Last time we were able to go to the park after the show, but we end the show too late nowadays.
Yeah, the show used to be what was that when it was 1 hour?
I think we did 7. Did we do 7 to 8?
7 to 9 when we went to 2 hours. The original show was 7 to 8. Remember, it was on Saturdays.
It was.
I used to get screamed at unmercifully that I was ruining someone's weekend. I can't imagine why I didn't get married. Anyway, 7 to 8 on Saturdays, and it was 7 to 9, and then we moved to the middle of the week. But anyway, I did.
Yeah, we did.
We're wasting time. Nick, who brings us this wonderful new program, WDW News Tonight, each and every week?
All right, let's try this. I had some water beforehand. I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready for it tonight. WDW News Tonight is brought to you by Magical Travel. Magical Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner and always ready to assist you in making your next trip to the Walt Disney World Resort, Disneyland Resort, or aboard the Disney Cruise Line even more magical. Right now, you can enjoy a 4-day, 4-night stay. See, that's what messed me up last time. How can it be 4 days and 4 nights? Isn't one number always bigger?
They kick you out right at midnight. Checkout is at midnight now. For Halloween only.
Oh boy. 4-day, 4-night stay. Is that right?
Well, it includes 4 days of ticket.
Okay. 4-day, 4-night stay in a standard room at a select all-star resort with 1 park per day. Magic Your Way base tickets for just $19.80. Book through October 8th, 2016 for stays most nights, November 6th through December 21st, 2016. Number of rooms available for this offer is limited, so make sure to act fast. For more information on this offer or many, many more, visit magicaltravel.com and book your next Disney trip today.
All right, folks, when we come back, it is going to be time. We're going to get right into it as soon as we come back. The 45 greatest things ever at Walt Disney World. I'm so excited. Probably most exciting segment we've ever done before. The results are going to amaze. That's all I can say. So when we come back, that's going to get started. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow is still but a dream. Right here and now, you've got it made. The world's forward marching and you're in the parade. Now is the time. Now is the best time. It is the time of joy or strife.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these fat cat bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, gold and silver win. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. At Capital Gold Group, we offer gold and silver for direct delivery. Plus, our specialty is IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive our free gold and silver buying guide. Capital Gold Group is A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. So call now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now, 800-430-7568, 800-430-7568, 800-430-7568. That's 800-430-7568.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. Call National Foreclosure Defense right now at 800-989-1838, 800-989-1838. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call right now. 800-989-1838, 800-989-1838. Call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now. 800-989-1838.
WDWNT counts down the 45 greatest things ever at the Walt Disney World Resort. Brought to you by WDWNT, the app.
Welcome to the 45 greatest things ever at Walt Disney World, our very first edition of the segment celebrating 45 years of the Vacation Kingdom of the World. I'm your host for the segment, Tom Corliss. Joining me will be a number of panelists from around WDWNT.com. But first, let me explain to you exactly what we're doing in this new segment. So this, if you've listened to the podcast for any number of years, we've done a number of countdowns. We've done the 25 biggest moments in the history of Hollywood studios. We did the 20 biggest moments in the history of Hollywood studios, the 30 biggest moments at Epcot, the 40 biggest moments overall for Walt Disney World. So we wanted to do something different. Didn't want to do moments. We wanted to know, in the Walt Disney World experience, what is absolutely the most important thing to people? What is it about Walt Disney World? Is it just attractions? Is it resorts? Is it dining? What is it that makes Disney World for people? So in honor of the 45th anniversary, what we did is we put together this giant list. There was about 1,000 options, and thousands of people voted to whittle down those 1,000 options to just 45. And those 45 things have been ranked according to the number of votes they received. And we're going to count down what are, in your opinion, the 45 greatest things that have ever existed at the Walt Disney World Resort. Sound good, everybody?
Sounds fantastic.
Yes.
All right.
I was very pumped for this. I remember when we came up with this idea like a year ago. Then we forgot it, and then we remembered.
We didn't forget. We just I wasn't time for it.
No, I think we came up with it, and then we were like, "What is the idea?" And we actually, because I think we originally thought of doing this for a March Madness type thing.
Yeah.
And then we forgot what it was, and then we remembered it.
I love this 20,000 Leagues music behind me. But anyway, the fantastic panel we have with us tonight. Ashley Jasmer is with us. Say hello. Maybe. And everybody's
Hi. Sorry.
Connor Przicki.
What's up?
David Smith.
Hey, everybody.
Patrick Hackett. Nope. Your mic isn't on again. You do this every time. Oh, boy. Someday you'll figure it out. Ron Deanna.
Aloha.
There's Ron. Kind of off screen. Jason Diffendahl.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Sitting right across from me. There's Jason. And, of course, over there, the handsome announcer, Nicholas Cicero.
Oh, thank you. No, appreciate it.
All right. Patrick, you have your mic yet? No, of course not. Anyway. All right. Well, hopefully Patrick will figure that out at some point. So tonight we're doing the first five greatest things. So this is going to be 45 through 41 on the countdowns. We're counting down all the way to number 1 over the next couple weeks and months. So is everybody ready to get this thing going?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Then let's begin. What is moment number 45?
Number 45.
Automated driving technology activated.
Welcome to the Sim Track. We'll begin with the capability test to see how your vehicle designs perform under challenging weather and surface conditions.
Monitoring road surface. Connecting to OnStar. SimCar performance data acquired.
Test Track 2012.
Well, there you go. We're starting off with the new Test Track, the 2012 Test Track presented by Chevrolet. I'm upset that this is on here.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the list.
I'm annoyed.
Yes, this is
greatly annoyed.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the list, but it apparently wasn't far down enough on the list not for us to have to deal with it.
Yeah, who just made it, obviously, at 45. Who did this? We're insulting. We are one thing. We're one thing into the list, and we've already insulted everyone who helped us make the list.
Our listeners are dumb.
Did they vote for the original and
voted
this
wrong.
one?
As I drink from my tin cup with my pinky out, I'm going to insult the listeners.
I mean, how? Did you actually go on this, or did you just think, oh, it's new?
So here's the thing with Test Track is, well, let me read you some background information. We do have some background information. I know I was so ready to yell about this one that I didn't even read what I had here. So, of course, on January 6, 2012, Disney Parks announced plans to renovate Test Track during the second and third quarters of the year and reopen the ride by the fall of 2012. Good one. As part of the update, Test Track sponsor became GM's Chevrolet marquee instead of GM as a whole. The new additions included a pre-show area where guests design a new car for testing in the Chevrolet Design Center, and then they board Test Track's existing 6-passenger ride vehicle sim cars to see how their designs fare on the center's driving course. Not that the ride actually changes when you do anything. The original ride closed on April 15, 2012. Boo. In the meantime, guests could enjoy a musical show called the Test Track All-Stars, which, spoiler alert, did not make this list.
Enjoy?
It was added in front of the former main entrance to Test Track. The refurbished attraction first opened to guests during a soft opening on December 3rd, 2012, and the grand reopening took place on December 6th and has since received generally mixed to negative reviews.
Apparently not.
But not really, because it made the 45
greatest things ever.
Laser trees are one of the 45 greatest things ever. Laser trees and laser linden.
Okay, so let me play the part of the dumb listener for a second.
Oh, geez.
And try to explain why what they may have been thinking. It basically is the original Test Track. You have the same thrill that you always had. You have the same attraction that you always had, just with the lighting overlay. But you added on top of that.
You painted everything black.
Right. But you added on top of that some elements in the queue that made it, a little bit more fun to wait in line for it. So the design your own vehicle is actually a decent interactive element, even though it has no bearing with what happens on the attraction itself. It still, adds something that adds a little bit of competitiveness between your group on those that are riding it. You get your results at the end. So
basically you're saying guests like to be patronized.
Sort of.
I'm not saying they're smart. I'm just saying they enjoyed it.
I do kind of agree with David. I mean, for most people, when I was down a couple weeks ago, my group had way more fun designing the cars and then arguing about whose was legitimately better after the ride than we did on. I mean, it's still Test Track, but I do think most people do enjoy designing the cars.
Is it though, Ashley? Is it still?
I'm not saying it deserves to be on the list. I'm just saying devil's advocate. I get why people voted for it.
I will say that if you are maybe a parent voting and you went with your kids, you probably did. Because I went with kids for the first time not too long ago, actually, and they were all very competitive about their cars. And I
like designing the car. That's not at all my problem with new Test Track.
No. But what I'm saying is I think parents then, if they go with their kids and the kids get enjoyment out of this, then the parents are probably more likely to feel an overall more enjoyment for the attraction.
I wish Bill, McKim, and Sherry were talking us through designing our car. That'd be great.
So you're saying the only thing that makes the new Test Track bad is that you don't have those nostalgic ties that you had?
Well, no, it needs a human touch more than anything. I think it's really soulless. You ever been on Transformers at Universal? It just is this soulless ride. There's no soul to it. There's no people in it at all, really, except two weird guys in the queue that are acting horribly. There's no music in the ride. It's just this big soulless thing. And that's how I feel with new Test Track. It's really pretty and it's got some neat stuff going on, but it just feels like this big automated process. It's the same way you feel like when you call someone and you get the automated rigmarole and you're like, well, I'd really like to just talk to a human being. And that's kind of how I feel with new Test Track.
That's definitely a big part of it. I think the other big part of it is the same problem that plagues Dinosaur versus Indiana Jones. And there's just a lot of racers. There's just a lot of darkness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of darkness, and it's the same track, but there's kind of not a lot of purpose to it anymore. So, they use the same track that already existed and shoehorn a new ride in, and they couldn't really put the track to all of its intended use, so they just made it dark. And I feel it's really a wasted opportunity.
So I made the case for it. Now let me make the case why it shouldn't be on this list, because I think, Tom, you're absolutely right. There's no emotion in this attraction. You don't come out of there thinking anything other than, hey, I just played a video game. And so I think there really is, I don't see how there's any attachment to anybody to this. And to give you an example of what I mean, on our last trip, we were in Epcot 2 full days. The only thing we didn't do in Epcot was Test Track, just because we couldn't get fast passes. We didn't feel like waiting. And you know what? Nobody complained in our group. So,
well, what were we attached to with the original Test Track? Like a lot of it had to do with the characters, didn't it? Pre-show characters.
Pre-show.
Yeah,
it was a fun experience. Like there's this banging. I know people make fun of that music, but I love like the banging music, and then like there's this hint of sarcasm to the pre-show that was really endearing. But then also like there's stuff going on. Like, do you remember to turn off those robots? And she's just like, oh, you're getting sprayed. You're getting sprayed with toxic chemicals.
Yeah, there's some little jokes that make the experience funny and personal that the new attraction just doesn't have.
Like you see the car, like they tease you with the car crash in the pre-show. They don't say it's going to happen. Then you pull into that room and that car has clearly just crashed. And then you like suddenly the lights come on and you're facing straight at that wall and you're like, oh man. As well as a new test track where they're like, all right, it's time for the power test.
And remember back when that car used to actually crash.
Yeah, I mean, in the very, very, very beginning. Yeah, I mean, so Test Track is kind of the king of effects that were built at opening and never turned back on.
But yeah. So there's a lot like that's another room where it's just kind of darkness because they don't have a way to take advantage of what's there, so they just make a lot of.
It's
darkness.
Literally just circles lighting up. That scene is circles lighting up, and then you drive through some rings, and that's the scene.
This upgrade reminds me of like what they're doing now with VR coasters. They don't really add anything to the experience. They just kind of make it.
It's a VR coaster without the headset. You're pretty much right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we're time to move on. I think we've yelled about Test Track enough. On to the next moment, Nicholas.
Number 44.
I'll show you who's boss.
Mickey's PhilharMagic.
And from one that everyone's kind of angry about, I think this is one probably everyone's going to be real happy about. I'm glad this made it. PhilharMagic's pretty wonderful. Well, let me read you a little background in case you're unfamiliar. Mickey's PhilharMagic is unique in being one of the very select number of attractions, at least back then, that Disney theme parks in which Imagineering collaborated with another division of the company, in this instance, Walt Disney Feature Animation. At the time, the only other ways they had teamed up was Fantasmic at both Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. Since then, of course, there's been a lot more collaboration as there's a lot more IP attractions now. And they figured it's best to work with the people who actually make those movies. But between the two companies, some of Disney's top talent worked together on this attraction, including Disney veteran Alex Mann, who was instrumental in developing and scripting the final story. Legendary Disney animator Glenn Keane re-rendered Ariel from The Little Mermaid in 3D, returning after he originally drew her in 2D for the actual film. Nick Ranieri, supervising animator for Lumiere and Beauty and the Beast, returned to animate that character in 3D. As well, a lot of the heart comes from Donald Duck is the main character of the show, and it's all archival recordings from the original Donald Duck voice actor Clarence Nash. Tony Anselmo did record only 5 new lines for the attraction, but it's mostly original Donald dialogue. The film was directed by George Scribner, who is best known for directing Disney's 1988 animated film Oliver and Company, and it is shown on the largest purpose-built 3D screen ever made at 150 feet wide. Such a successful attraction, it was immediately cloned for Hong Kong Disneyland, since also opened at Tokyo Disneyland as well. A beloved attraction, despite only being open the last 13 years. What does everybody think about PhilharMagic on the list?
One of the finest attractions Magic Kingdom has to offer.
I mean, this attraction certainly fits the mold of classic Disney World attractions.
It comes out of the Dark Ages.
Well, yeah, it does.
A really bad time in Imagineering.
It does, and they did a phenomenal job. And it has a timeless quality to it as well. It's not based on some intellectual property of the moment. It's based on classic Walt Disney characters. It's very well done, and it's one of the new classics. It really is.
Yeah, it's a charming story, and it's great to have Mickey and the gang in a fun attraction at Walt Disney World, that at the Magic Kingdom specifically, there in Fantasyland, that kind of does stand the test of time a bit. Someday it will be outdated, but right now I think it's still something that people are still amazed at. When they see those 3D effects, people are still oohing and eyeing out there in the audience. And then of course the effect at the end, which was one of my all-time favorite effects, so I'm a little biased being a Donald fan, but I love the Donald flying into the back of the wall. It's great.
It's definitely a lot of fun and the best of at least the existing 3D movies that's around there, and
only so many left.
And it's also the best thing that's ever been in that space. I was never a fan of the Lion King show that was there.
Oh,
that was a good show.
I love that show.
And I think everybody kind of just is creeped out by Magic Journeys.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't think anybody on this panel is actually old enough to remember the Mickey Mouse review.
Yeah.
So
It was in 81 to move to Tokyo. Connor, you got to talk about this, because I feel like the Disneylanders' first trip out here, usually this is the one, because there's only so much that's completely original to Florida. This is the one that they usually freak out about, and this is the one I always kind of show off.
Yeah, definitely. The first trip back in 2010, 11. I think we watched it 4 or 5 times that day. I absolutely love Florida Magic. I'm so happy it's on the list. I don't know what it is about it, and just the way the music flows with the animation on screen and 3D effects. It works so well. I don't know. I love Florida Magic. From a Disneylander perspective, we don't have anything like this, and it really, really makes me sad because I really love Florida Magic. So I'm really happy it's on the list.
Anyone else?
Well, I just want to say one of the reasons I really do like that's on the list and think it deserves it is because when I was kind of thinking of my 45 things, I really wanted stuff that was original to the parks here in Florida.
Makes sense. It's the 45 greatest things ever at Disney World.
Yeah, so I like to kind of favor that. And this, like you said, is one of the finest things we have to offer. It's one of those things we can put out there from Walt Disney World and say, here, look, this is different. If you've seen things in other parks, you haven't seen this yet. And it is something we could be proud of to put out there and show people as one of their first attractions when they come here.
Ashley, did you have something?
No, I think everybody has just about said it all. It's definitely one of my favorites. Being a child of the late 80s, early 90s, most of those movies are my childhood. And so to be able to see them kind of all woven together in a story is really kind of wonderful. I mean, when Ariel, reaches her hand out to you, that's one of the coolest effects. And it's simple, but just the care that they took to bring back a lot of the original animators. I mean, even though it was the Dark Ages, like Jason said, they took the time to do it right. And I think that may have even been a tipping point, a turning point for where they started getting it right again, showing that they could put time and effort into doing things the right way at Imagineering again.
Yeah, and I think the marriage of Imagineering and the animation department has been something really special, and that in Pixar animation included. I mean, World of Color, phenomenal marriage of the two, using existing footage and even creating footage maybe that didn't exist in the movie to fit scenes there. And the work they did on Little Mermaid, and you think about Cars Land, and that they worked with Pixar while they were developing Cars 2, and there were things that ended up from Cars Land in Cars 2 and vice versa. Just a really, really healthy relationship, which you kind of wonder why that was never a thing before. But one thing we said with Test Drive, which David agreed with me, was kind of the soulless feeling. That's the opposite with Filler Magic. I think it's filled with a lot of heart, which is the kind of the hallmark of the Disney animated feature film, at least either of the two golden ages. I think these are movies that touch people and make people feel things. And filler magic, it's a real big challenge to make people feel things in just a few minutes you have in a theme park attraction. But filler magic does it very quickly. And yes, it has those movies to fall back on and the feelings you have in those movies, but it really captures those feelings. They rush back to you. I think the feelings of watching those movies at home, just how grand of a scale and the musical notes and the character representation is just all done so well that it's just perfect. I think filler magic in every way is a perfect attraction.
I agree.
Oh, Patrick, you're alive.
Patrick! That was awful.
Anyway. All right, Nick, let's go on to our next moment.
Number 43.
The stormtroopers will be deactivated for sure.
Hold it right there, Captain.
I'm not actually the captain.
We're looking for this rebel spy. Have you seen him?
No one on this transport could possibly be a spy. Dear.
This is the speeder we're looking for. Blast him!
Shields are part 2.
Star Tours. The adventure continues.
The adventures continue, but nice try.
I'll get on that voice guy about that one.
Yeah, that voice guy
Wow.
sucks. In April
Didn't do anything
2005, at Star Wars Celebration 3, creator George Lucas confirmed that a Star Tours 2 was in production after years of rumors that it would be a pod racing ride. In May 2009, Slash Film reported that filming for the new Star Tours was underway in West Hollywood. During pre-production, one of the locations that Imagineers wanted guests to visit was the ice planet of Hoth, while it was under siege by Imperial walkers. However, the idea was quickly scrapped because it would interfere with the attraction's placement in the Star Wars timeline between episodes 3 and 4. According to former Imagineer Jason Sorrell, after the Hoth battle idea was replaced with an encounter with the planet's native fauna, or Tauntauns and the Wampas, the concept was presented to George Lucas. And Lucas, although liking the idea, requested that the battle scene be used instead, even if it meant disrupting the series canon. Lucas added, quote unquote, "Who cares?" The Kashyyyk sequence was suggested by John Lasseter, and Industrial Light and Magic, of course, was responsible for the extensive computer-generated imagery throughout the attraction. The ride was finally announced at the 2009 D23 Expo in Anaheim, the first one ever. And the original Star Tours closed in Florida and California in October of 2010 and would reopen in May and June of 2011, respectively, as Star Tours 2. Eventually being renamed Star Tours: The Adventures Continue. It was an updated ride system with high-definition 3D video using Dolby 3D technology, an improved motion simulator, as well as several other newly added special effects. A short teaser was shown at the expo, of course, featuring pod racing, just to troll everyone who was sitting there into thinking we were getting that pod racing attraction finally. Finally, though, everyone realized there was actually 54 combinations, and the number grows with the addition of new sequences, which have come since the attraction finally opened on May 20th, 2011, to some fanfare before Disney purchased Star Wars, but kind of the beginning of Disney and the Star Wars marriage that eventually blossomed into purchasing. So if this was a historically significant countdown, obviously historically significant would be an understatement on this moment, but we are talking about things here, and Star Tours is the 43rd greatest thing ever. Star Tours: The Adventures Continue, Nick. The 43rd greatest thing ever at Walt Disney World.
Multiple adventures continue, not just one adventure continuing multiple times.
I may be alone in this, but I am shocked that it's actually so low on the list.
Me too.
Because I think, this update is, in my mind, the perfect update for this ride technology, for this property. It fits so well. It really refreshed the whole experience of this attraction, and it made it something that you want to ride every single time.
Yep, I was going to say, we started off with Test Track and how the do-over of Test Track really ripped its soul out, and here we are with Star Tours 2, and it's the complete opposite. This really did, bring back a relatively old attraction with relatively old technology, and brought it into the present with brand new sequences, 3D, brand new additions like the Rebel Spy. There's definitely some great additions to this attraction that has made the refreshing of it quite successful, in my opinion.
I didn't really care about the cannon thing when it opened. I was fine with it. Now it's really bad now, because like the other day I go on there and I get the Darth Vader opening. I'm like, yeah, Darth Vader. Then we go to Jakku. The Empire has fallen, clearly. Like, he's dead. We just saw him, that there's the First Order now. Then BB-8 shows up. Then we go to Naboo. We just went from over here, then we went to here, and then we went way over here somewhere. What is going on?
Well, it's a time travel machine too now.
It's like Back to the Future. Are we hitting 88 miles an hour at light speed?
It travels space and time.
Like, it was kind of negligible when you're bouncing between the prequels and the episode 4 timeline, because you really do everything that happens in the original trilogy in Star Tours: The Adventures Continue takes place probably around episode 4, which is negligible. Like, yeah, there's the droid fighters, but you could say, like, there were some of them still around, maybe. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're jumping 30 years in the future now, too, like, Finn is clearly showing up. Like, what?
I bet you the majority of the people even ride it that doesn't even register.
I think that one does.
Yeah.
Now it does.
Darth Vader's clearly dead. He holds the burnt helmet.
Just happened real quick.
Well, I almost wish that they would have. You could have like a prequels scenario, and then the original trilogy scenario, and then with all the new, I hope that
they should almost segment
the
them.
further new movies come out, that they could almost, so you have a timeline track. The canon is kind of kept intact. And so it doesn't throw people off. It feels very jarring.
Who cares?
I care. Okay, people
go back to San Francisco
it's
and
weird.
Who cares?
I mean, until they do that,
it's jarring. Like it is. It's weird to see Naboo.
It's jarring.
Until they do that, it's basically a Star Wars highlight show, right? I mean, nobody's complaining about the canon of PhilharMagic, where we're bouncing between Africa and Agrabah and Victorian London.
Magic, though.
Star Wars doesn't have magic.
But we don't jump between Lion King and Lion King 2. Like we don't like Mufasa's not dead in the first scene, and then we jump back to him being alive. Let's be fair. That's not happening.
No, you're jumping back to before he was born.
Yeah.
Technically, if you go to Naboo,
Anakin Skywalker is either not born yet, alive, or dead at several instances during Star Tours: The Adventures Continue.
And they're in the wrong order.
But this is a phenomenal attraction. We're not denying it shouldn't be on this list because it absolutely should.
Well, that was my question. We're arguing about this. Should it be in the 45?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to argue it shouldn't be?
No.
I think it should be further up on the list.
But here's the thing with this list. Like, I know we're probably comparing it to the other lists we've done.
Up on the list.
Maybe. But we're comparing this to the other lists we've done. The other lists we've done did not have food and restaurants and resorts
Miniature
and
golf
smells
courses.
and mini golf and all that other stuff. And you got to remember there were 1,000 choices. So out of 1,000 choices, Star Tours still being on this list is probably a really big accomplishment. And who knows, maybe original Star Tours is on here.
Well, that's my question. How many people on this panel think we're going to see either the original test track or the original Star Tours still on this list?
I think we'll see the original test track, but I don't know that we'll see the original Star Tours.
Oh, I would imagine both of them are on here.
I think so too.
I have hope that both of them are on here.
I think they're both going to be on there.
All right.
And I mean, it's weird because, like, I'd argue one of those, test tracks should be on there, but the other Star Tours should not be ahead of this Star Tours.
The old Star Tours?
Yeah, in my opinion,
it was the first motion simulator ride.
You're still thinking historical. You said don't think historical.
But
greatest.
I think at the time that was still a much bigger deal than.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it didn't age.
You're still too historically.
Yeah.
What is greater,
the
the first time you've ever seen something, or the time they refreshed that?
The
thing?
time they refreshed it
The one
and
that's
kicked
better.
the
But
butt
why?
of the original one.
I don't agree with
Just
that.
because it didn't
it depends.
age well doesn't mean it wasn't great when it opened.
It was great when it opened,
was.
but it's
And
better
it
now.
was canon, damn it!
It was great when it opened,
not
but
gonna
it's
argue
There
better
was
now.
a third Death Star, and we liked it.
It was the only place to get Star Wars stuff for a 6-year period, really, between the mid 80s to the early 90s. There was nowhere else you could buy anything Star Wars in the world.
It's true.
I mean, you know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I would not say that the original is better than the update.
This and you watch the opening. I don't even know what to do.
And I love the prequels. Go figure.
You do.
All right, you ready to move on, Tom?
Let's move on.
Fine, we'll move on.
Number 42.
In Western abbeys, monks toiled endlessly in lonely isolation, copying ancient books of wisdom and revelations for future generations. Finally, from the depths of the Dark Ages, came the Age of Enlightenment, the Renaissance. And with this era came a powerful new invention, the movable type printing press.
Spaceship Earth, 1994.
In my mind, I was like, all right, this is going to be great when we reveal this one. You're going to play that fantastic finale music.
No.
And the memories are going to come rushing back. Nick, you should cue that up for everybody. I think everybody needs to hear that tonight. You should find that end music. But anyway, August 15th, 1994, the attraction Spaceship Earth was closed to receive a major remodeling. The third version of the attraction kept the lighted tunnel as it was in 1986 and maintained the majority of the scenes depicted in the beginning and middle of the attraction. 3 scenes towards the end of the attraction that showed a computer in a boy's bedroom of the 1980s, a woman's office of the 80s, and a network operations center of the 90s were all removed and replaced with one scene depicting a boy and a girl using the internet to communicate between America and Asia. Actor Jeremy Irons was the new narrator, reading from an updated script. A new orchestral composition that was magnificent, mind you, was composed for the beginning, middle, and end of the attraction. The ending itself was completely redone with the removal of the space station scene at the top of the attraction, replacement of an old projected image of the Earth and the planetarium with a new image, and the replacement of the 82 and 86 ending scenes of the ride with miniature architectural settings and new scenes, all connected by a color-changing fiber optic cables and an array of blinking lights representing the electronic communication pathways of the modern era. The attraction reopened on November 23rd, 1994, as arguably the most notable version of Spaceship Earth that has ever existed. Some will argue for the 86 version, obviously, but it's probably negligible.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that it's not the most notable version. It certainly is the version that was seen by the most people. It's certainly a very good version. The only thing that I think is lacking from the 94 version is the Tomorrow's Child song, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, if they kept the Tomorrow's Child song, that would be the perfect version. As much as I like Walter Cronkite.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeremy Irons
Tomorrow's
did a great
Child
job.
is wonderful, but I don't think there is a piece of music that has meant more to me. Like Spectro Magic is I love Spectro so much, but that finale music.
Oh, the music is phenomenal.
In 94 Spaceship Earth, like
it is.
Always
But
got
it's lifted music. It's not that it's taken from Seas of Solaris. It's great music. I love it. I have the original track too, but I mean, Tomorrow's Child was probably the most earwormy song of original Epcot too. I mean, even more than Imagination, it got stuck in my head as a kid.
Yeah, Tomorrow's Child was purposely composed for that attraction. It really was an uplifting song about the future of humankind. I think it was perfect for Epcot. And as much as I like the orchestral score of the 94 version of Spaceship Earth, I think just as we talked about the new test track lacking a soul, I think when you take original songs out of Epcot attractions, you rip out part of the soul. And that's my only problem with the 94 version, is that it lost the song. Just like, when Listen to the Land lost its song.
But
you
there's
ripped
so
out a
much
part of the song.
heartwarming stuff in that 94 finale.
I
There's the
agree.
people like through telecommunications singing their new baby to sleep. There's they announced to the kid that you have a new baby sister. Like there's some really humanizing, wonderful moments.
I agree. I'm not saying it's bad at all. I'm just saying I missed the song. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't think they like ripped out the soul. Like I think there still was a lot of soul there. Just maybe corny songs like that in '94. Like I think Epcot, at least in 1984, I think made a very mature turn. I think even in Interventions, like I know, like blocking out the windows made it ugly. And I don't disagree with that, but I think like the evolution of the Interventions exhibit and the music around the park, the area music and the changes in Spaceship Earth and stuff. As much as I love 80s Epcot, I think early 90s Epcot is a magnificent thing. I think they were doing such a good job updating the park. It's a shame it all derailed at some point.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that was the first major refresh of Epcot with the Epcot 94 name and everything like that.
And the stuff they did at the land, and like I thought like they were on the right track. Like they were updating Epcot in a very nice way.
Well, I'd certainly take that over Bob Chapek anytime. So
I mean, I agree with you, Jason. I wish they had that song, but if I had to choose a version of Spaceship Earth to be on the top 45, it's got to be the 94 version.
Yeah. Why do you want the 94 version?
Because I think it again, if we go back to that question of emotion, I think emotionally it had a greater impact, and that ending scene had a lot to do with that because you came out of the attraction feeling like the future was hopeful.
Yeah, no, that I agree. That just seeing that little model of Spaceship Earth, and then that fiber optic wave over your head, and the music swelling, and Jeremy Irons delivering the best script that attraction has ever had.
Absolutely.
And he was such a perfect narrator. And Judi Dench could have been too if she had a script that wasn't written by a 4-year-old. Yeah,
I think I have that music. I think I cut it in the right place.
Yeah, give me a little bit of it. I need it.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
It's very uplifting.
And inspirational, which is what Epcot's supposed to be.
Yep.
It was supposed to be like, yeah, the world can be terrible, but look at all these wonderful things that it can be. That's what I loved about Epcot. I think early 90s Epcot was doing such a good job carrying that spirit on. And that's why I love that version. I love Tomorrow's Child, too.
I mean, is anybody going to be surprised if we see 86 later on this list?
No, I just hope we don't see 2007.
Oh, God.
Right.
I don't think there's a chance of that.
I hope
that's we're being trolled.
I don't know. A lot of people in the chat are saying they're thoroughly surprised by the results thus far. So I think we're in for an interesting countdown, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm glad. I just want to chime in. I'm glad this is on here. I wish it was up a little bit higher.
I'm glad it made it out of 1,000 options.
Yeah.
I
know, but when like when 999 of the other options are like the cheeseburger flatbread, I mean, it's not hard to put this on the list, right?
But I do think this is my favorite narration. For sure. As far as everything else, I mean, picky and choosy about the rest of the stuff, the music and things like that. I would take. I mean, it'd be interesting to create your favorite Spaceship Earth by taking pieces of different versions.
It should be
together.
The pre-show, like Test Track. You build your own
right. Build your own Spaceship Earth. But this would be my narration. It'd be fun if you get to pick your narrator. That'd be great.
There you go. Well, they could. They have a touch screen.
Yeah,
that's right.
You have an iPod.
Who has an iPod anymore? What version of Spaceship Earth are you on right now?
1974.
Let me put on my Spaceship Earth LP and I'll go ride. Anyway. All right, Nick, give me our last moment for this segment.
Number 41.
Ladies and gentlemen, direct from a record-breaking 2 million years at the bottom of the evolutionary ladder, let's hear it for the Tumble Monkey!
The Festival of the Lion King.
Before Disney's Animal Kingdom opened in 1998, scrap plans for Beastly Kingdom forced Disney to scramble to add some temporary items to the park to bolster the opening day lineup. In that scramble, Camp Mini Mickey was devised to add 2 shows and a number of meet and greets to the park roster. One of those shows was the Festival of the Lion King. Originally built in an outdoor theater, the show was created in a very short amount of time and utilized recycled pieces of the Lion King Celebration Parade from Disneyland, which had just concluded. Despite the entertainment team's short development time and limited resources, the show opened and quickly became the most positively reviewed attraction in all 4 of Walt Disney World's theme parks. The theater was quickly enclosed, and the cancellation of Beastly Kingdom gave the show a healthy lifespan. Even after plans for a new land themed to Avatar were fleshed out for the space finally, Festival of the Lion King moved to a beautiful new theater in Harambe, where it now performs with no end in sight. This is the greatest Cinderella story probably in Disney Parks history. This show was developed as a temporary filler in limited time. Jungle Book Alive with Magic. In a very limited amount of time, they threw this together, the entertainment department, no help from WDI, in a shed, essentially, and people loved it. And people still love it. It is 41 on this list of the 45 greatest things ever at Walt Disney World. This thing was made in like just a few months. They threw this thing sloppily together and made this really wonderful variety show that is just touching. And even though I think everyone in the world would love to see them do something grandiose and e-ticket wise with the Lion King franchise, this is a really wonderful thing they did with that IP.
You know, they had, I mean, this came at a time when the Lion King was still fresh and recent.
And it was Frozen hype-esque because they already had Circle of Life at Epcot. They had Legend of the Lion King at Magic Kingdom. There was Lion King in the parade. Lion King was everywhere, just like Frozen is now.
Right. It was very big. And I mean, it was only 40 years after the movie came out. So it was still very big, just basically like Frozen is now.
Yeah.
You've got incredibly memorable songs. And that's where I think this came. It was the right attraction for this film, and it came at the right time. You've got incredibly memorable songs. You've got audience participation here.
The talent. Someone in the chat said it. The talent. Like just watch one performer. Just keep your eyes on one performer during the finale. They are busting their behinds. Like I have never seen entertainers work harder than the people in Festival of the Lion King, and it's inspiring. Like I love how into it they are and how proud they are to be the highest testing attraction at Disney World.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, it's such a fun attraction. You can see that the entertainers are having a blast doing it. They love their jobs without question. I think that adds a lot to the feel and the feedback that the attraction gets from the audience. It's just a lot of fun. And I think kids love it. That's really a lot of what it comes down to.
Everybody
in terms of high testing. Yeah, but this is not a kids attraction.
Yeah,
it's a family attraction, but kids absolutely love it. Whether because you've got the characters, you got the giant character float type things in there.
There's such good versions of the songs from the movies.
Yep. Yeah. This show has everything. It has everything.
I tend to shy away from shows. I don't really enjoy theme park shows, but this one is the one that I feel like it deserves to be on this list. You know, and I think it goes to the quality and the talent of the cast, because everybody talks about Finding Nemo and how it's Broadway-like. It's not Broadway-like, guys. This is actually much closer to Broadway caliber performances than you'll see anywhere else in a theme park show.
And it's a variety show, which I think works so well in a theme park setting, but we don't do it.
And it's not a cheap show to put on, and they keep going because of how highly rated it is.
Yeah. It is the highest testing attraction. It is below nothing in guest satisfaction of anything at Walt Disney World.
I don't think you can be dissatisfied with it. I mean, you can be dissatisfied. There's some fantastic attractions, especially at Animal Kingdom, like Kilimanjaro Safaris. But yeah, you can be dissatisfied if all the animals are tired and sleeping when you happen to go on it. But the entertainers in this show are never tired and never sleeping. They are fully giving all of their energy every
And
time.
I've been to Nemo shows where you're like, oh, this Marlin isn't as good. Oh, this Nemo isn't as good. And there's never been a Lion King show I've been in there and been like, anyone's not as good as anyone I've seen before. They're always just unbelievably into it and good, and it's just fantastic.
So we all think they should be on here, but do you think it's too low on the list now, like, or too far? Not
I don't know.
Not low enough.
There's a lot of things like Tonga toast that I think are better than I mean, this is the 45 greatest things ever.
Balzac.
You've got Balzac. You've got Tonga toast. You've got wall carpet. You've got the Schmelitzers. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here.
I know.
Close it ever after.
Isn't it? It's interesting that the bottom 5 that we've looked at have all been attractions. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I was expecting attractions to go way further in the
That's
list.
the question is other stuff going to make this list? That was the big question coming in was, do people just like attractions, or can restaurants and smells and resorts and weird things like that crack this list? And that's what we got to see. And yet, so far, first 5 moments, we have 5 attractions. Are we looking at a list of 45 attractions? That's
Well, if so, we blame it on the audience. So.
Right. Yep. Not our voting system. Anyone else have any other thoughts on Festival Line?
I just wanted to add real quick that I think with its new location, it's just such a perfect fit. It fits really well with the whole feel of Harambe, and it is a must-do for me every time I go there. I think it's a tremendous attraction. I think it's right about where it should be on the list.
I think it's a good spot on the list because I think it's something everybody really likes, but I don't think it's anybody's absolute favorite.
Yep. Like Patrick said, it's a must-do at least once, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's something that I have to do over and over again when I go down there, but I have to see it at least once.
Fair enough. So there you go, 41, the Festival of the Lion King. So a quick recap on tonight's 5. Number 45 was Test Track 2012. Boo. Number 44, Mickey's Filler Magic. Number 43, Star Tours, The Adventures Continue. A lot of recent stuff. Number 42, Spaceship Earth, 1994. And number 41, The Festival of the Lion King. But hey, we got 40 more to go as we continue our countdown of the 45 greatest things ever at the Walt Disney World Resort. We'll be right back.
If it's the last thing, I'll just sit there, you fool. I'm coming, Captain. Poor Captain. Such a desperate situation. Mr. Smee! Stay right there, Captain. Swoggle me eyes, Mr. Smee. Oh dear. Faster, you hands on deck. Man the lifeboats.
Well, that was a short break. Timekeeper. Oh, I missed it.
There you go. You only took that break because you wanted to hear some Timekeeper.
That's why I knew it was in the queue, and I needed some Timekeeper.
Now we don't have any more time left in this show. We did want to invite some calls for the 45. Now, if you are a Patreon member of the Wigs Society, we're going to do a half an hour post game or post show just for those people. So if you are one of those, we will take phone calls during that segment. But if you're listening on 1520 WBZW or anywhere else other than listen.wdwnt.com or any one of those places, you'll have to go over to the website to listen if you are a Wigs member. And if you're not,
we're going to put the link. It'll be on Patreon,
on Patreon
for those at the $13 or higher.
Now, what is that? Is it Patreon?
It's patreon.com/WDWNT.
Okay. All right.
And it should be a weekly thing. We're testing it out tonight. We're going to see how it goes.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, not a new show next week. We're going to be replaying this one. If you
The
missed any of it,
podcast will be
check
back.
it.
Food and wine review. And, you just listened to it. But the 45 greatest things ever, that first segment. But the podcast is going to be back in a regular format starting October 1st.
All right, and then 2 weeks, we're back live here on WDW News Tonight.
Yes. So remember, kids, there's enough land here to hold all the dreams we could possibly imagine. Good night, and happy birthday, Walt Disney.
Celebrating 50 years as a Popka's hometown station. 1520 WP.